Will doctors negotiate salaries with nanotechnology in mind? Jade swords poke up from the syringes of the ocean floors with venomous cryptographically enlightening as blood spilled out of a mole. Espionage like a stinging jellyfishy caught up in a fishing net. Europe goes pop. The arrowheads made a fortune flop like the white shores of the cliffs of Dover that collapse eventually like those geologically bound by corrosion and sirens wail. While doctors scientifically insert syringes of Botox into the fatally flawed lips of liposucked fronts that used to be living and breathing human beings, flawed by people. The jade swords sharply slice corals, jellyfishies swim all around me. Middle East dictators all flop down into a globalized movement like jellyfishies. Childlike and bent on the idea of being old like mommy and daddy, all caught up in the fishnets of XXX pornography, which causes intestinal tracts to leave the body's sense of awareness and reality, and the synchronicity gracefully floats and pushes under the moon, who's been crazed into lunacy, and questions of suppressions are stung into infections on commercials where thin, starving African innocence is fatally promoted to characterize figments of percentages like the nanotechnology from God seen in a jellyfish's spurs. The jade swords crumble into stinging pain from the boxes of the doctor's tool chest, cleansed and absorbed and washed like antiseptical profit, and jellyfishies swimming all around me. In plain sight, it's such a gracefully revised vision of capitalism meshed together with knowledge and wisdom that children need more than just a sign on the beach that they can't even read. And the ugly side of humanity rears its head and sinks its spurs instead of sinking back toward the toothbrush. Brush your teeth. Conversion Earths and jellyfishies are closing off national parks and services internationally, and beaches glare at the doctors grumbling about 7-figure salaries being cut into normal portions of money. Bank accounts freeze, jellyfishies swimming all around me. In some holes and tore down buildings near imperialistic control centers, but spatters of blood like slime are right beneath the rubble of chemical clouds touching the feet, creating some dark warm hole to freeze in and out, and there's nowhere to go but down in the trenches when there's a huge war for power preventing global consensus. Watch trust become peculiar and defenseless across the Atlantic as the media telegraphs distant memoirs about a larger-than-life scale slithering around to whirlwind with mustard gas, tearing holes like a whaling ship from Captain Ahab aground on steroids. As fear engulfs every world territory, while simultaneously producing the Draco Doctrine to tense with cardiac muscles over a spectroscopic bomb. Watch mistakes in eco-political policies come around like espionage, with mistrust triplicated from alleged accusations and dissipated safe havens, winding around blown-out streets in a precursor to the loss of lives and trees, mortar shells that morph bloodstreams into numerous types of disease. Bear witness to the stories of stoic world wars unleashed that grab the Western Eastern Hemisphere by the neck and wipe humanity off its feet. Trenches with clouds of chemical overtake the streets. Casualties off the Richter scale and blood-soaked soils encompass battlefields, distress, and needing an end to the cracked helmets from hard-headed imperialists. An empire attacks and the innocent lives torn away from the locked-up ideas of civil disobedience and resistance to suppression. Like a renaissance of Alexander the Great's bloody idea of overshadowing flaws with flame-throwing flamboyance in order to use fear to get some mistakes for no cause. Like the plethoras of gas masks westward bound from the Soviet Union, crowned with edges of warfare, laced and etched in blind following immature ideas of mind controlling for the masses to die, choking in the trenches irrigated with blown out eardrums, like lead and dead people as life through tear gas eyes synthesizes with gears half blown off to see toxic compounds emitting before they flatline in a cardiac arrest. 26mm grenades liquefy explosives and lethal fumes like turpentite, parasite like the ruthless whack job ball side holes, melting their egos down with mustard gas and skewed ideas of truth and honor. Cause lacrimatory igniters cased in shells of fire to burn. Worse than napalm before, asphyxiating the lungs of coronated human beings, engineer and massacre blood like the machining blister that irritates and consumes. The waves of a backwards empire pouring down like acid rain amongst so many trenches with clouds of chemical overrunning noon. Acute bronchitis and gradual suffocation results in troops' hesitation and the calling for new overseas assisted companies from other sovereign countries cuts up like invasion by clouds of chemical from epicenters ethno-masochistically flawed like lives unwound into death, yet the troops keep gas masks near their crosses instead and hold their breaths in the hopes that God won't kill them because they don't forget to pray as the legends of the fall of imperialism express regretful, faultless lives lost with the utmost solidity and firmness that the flaws of the world are all they can be. Turn the enemy away till the waterfalls of armistice. Watch fire decay, leaving a teared up residue as confused world leaders nervously bounce their grandchildren on their laps. Explosive shells above the sea have ruined the riches of lands near the magnetic knees of every battlefield, networked and spiderweb with balloons chiseled into history. Millions of ghosts revolve into static, and destroyers sink battleships, taking out a bunch of the coral reefs. In amazement, the world is put on pause before the stock market falls and weaponry and militaries becomes unpredictable like the claws of a chupacabra beast living inside of these trenches with clouds of chemical. and sparked by memories from when spirits sailed on the wind. Shaka Zulu and face paint made of respect and skills again from the original African martial artists. Segregating, migrating to African kings with supposed funny feather hats. Flying through time to modern days, bouncing up taser bangs, back up, I'll shoot you in the knees. Read parchment written in blood, you know what they say about these basketballs and bitches and money and stuff. Backtrack like a backpacking trip with lead bricks. Bartholomew de las Casas, burn up resistance to switch killing currents and pedagogies with the consistency of loss. Anything darker than him can be burned like stinging wasps, judged like the holiest of evils. Witness bones breaking like sticks and lands of absorbent sugar canes and cottons and fields of tobacco out indigo congregations of linen leaves. Carry the large tree and dig up a grave for your uncle. Don't cry or get a mouthful of dirt. They're like cattle fed up, vested by barbed wire fences, getting burnt. Flies buzz like rumors as all fall, adjust in line with leaves that crawl across your dirt street to your coolest death in the bluest eyes. Looking down like words set in stone and stones thrown by Jim Crow laws. Foundations of new words like ghettos prismatically blown up and disrobed like harmless women forcefully implanted with seeds from a spirit. Separate the friends using soul and rape the ropes, notch you up like a gyroscope hung on a tree. Laugh at the way your knees shake, croak with stained sheets before justice sprays. Shotgun settles, blow off arms. Strength of numbers, cut up feet, hidden in swamps. Diamond shaped grease, chop off a hand. Machetes cut them down like heavily. The old boys frowning with the missing teeth, chainsaws and red meat run away from forever. Disappear like a yeast infection. With mistakes, forget them. Easier than planting crops under racial jokes. Sentiments as thick as Aunt Jemima syrup slowly reform into amber decaying skeletons from microscopic wonders and melanin nose. Credits been due, cook more food, watch the good old dude. Slap the asses of reparations, confederations of resolving unsolvable equations yielded after reconstructions of faceless basins, filled with the shock of nervous speaking. Nuke-free products for good behavior amend the Constitution and allow some boasting thinking. Then stereotype ethnicity with voodoo dolls and no caution surround canines barking. Take the eyelids shut with tears, blind the eyes with sweat, limping workers fear police confrontations. Rape a child in front of a nest, crows are spiritually there to witness. Colorblind zest and fear, blood streaking itself, dry and dead, disease flickers like a termite sound. Hearts beat like nervous ground, scared of agriculture. Mix a meal and make sure it's not kosher. Rings around, the sun smiles from the day off. Found, put aside in the past, had a chicken bone that the dog found. Attribute religion with crosses, cultures of axiotic axes chopping more red blood flame trees. The shiny color flossless, no room for flowers to grow in nets of lost trails. Rip off your fingernails, track separate like Johnson's rehabilitation. Systematic annihilation, post-genocide of native lives, refocus on newer facts and crude roots of class systems and casts of masks and ghosts are great. War crimes and conspiracies deflowered, taste of dark fluoride to numb you down into distraction like impurities found in jazz and Uncle Tom's cabin. Blaming on shock dies and trances into ghost adrenaline rushes will wanton reflections, starvations of lust and Sierra Leone descriptions of one-legged athletes, perpetrators of genocide. Go ahead, join the military, they'll put you in the front, build a river out of mud, covering the moonlight and worlds of civil disintegration.